Hey guys, welcome back. Unless you've been living under a rock, if you are a sewer and you're on any social media platform, you have probably seen these blanket coats. They are everywhere. And every time I see them, I like them, but I always kind of go back to the it's not my style sort of thing. So I have never tried one. However, in the interest of trying things, even if I think I won't like them, I'm gonna make one because I found the perfect blanket to do for this project. Part of what draws me to this project is that it seems fairly straightforward. It doesn't seem like these coats are overly fitted. There is some space for kind of customizing, especially the collar, or if you want a hood with it or something. It just seems like it's very doable for me. I'm even so invested in this project that I made a mock-up last night. You should be very proud because you guys know I don't always do mock-ups. I generally don't do mock-ups. And because this seems fairly straightforward, I decided that I'm just gonna use the kind of bodice block that I made forever and ever ago. I drafted this guy from just a t-shirt, I think. I've used it for wrap dresses, but it generally fits in the shoulders and in the bust and then loosely down at the bottom. So I decided to just go with that. And I took the sleeve pattern from my Rockford Peaches costume and modified that just a little bit so that it would fit inside this block. So I'm at the point right now where I need to lay the blanket out and see how I'm going to fit these pattern pieces. The length is what is variable. It doesn't need to be down to my knees. It would be kind of cool if it was, but it doesn't need to be. So I'm gonna lay the blanket out, put the pattern pieces on top of it, and figure out how I'm gonna get everything to fit and what I have left over for maybe the collar, interfacings, pockets, that kind of thing. So without much more ado, let's further this project. Once I got all my pattern pieces laid out, I realized that I was gonna have to take off some of that length in order to get everything to fit. I did try to be mindful about the patterns. I'm not looking to match patterns at all, but what I want to be featured on that panel. So for example, the center of the blanket has a big thing in the middle and I want that to be right on the back. And then for the front panels, I like this border and I think that would look really good going up the front, maybe, yes? Yeah, I'm gonna stick with that. And then to mirror that, I did the same thing for the sleeves. This is just a little short, so I'm including this border on the sleeves so that it matches this front thing. So hopefully it turns out well. This is the part that always freaks me out the most because once I cut it, there's no going back. I'm making it no matter what. Wish me luck and we'll see how this goes. Never had this before. Alright, might be time for a new needle. Alright, I just have a vest, so let's see what my vest looks like. What do you think? Is it cool? I can't see back there. Hold on, I'm gonna go look at it. Hold on. Not bad. I'm gonna put the sleeves on and then I'm gonna figure out a collar because it definitely needs some sort of collar. And then I'm gonna kind of decide if I want to keep the ruffly parts. I feel like they just get in the way, but also they add texture. Yeah, I don't know. We'll see about that part. So actually, before I put the sleeves on, I want to figure out what to do with the raw edges because I don't have a serger. So my thought is I'm actually going to use some bias tape and instead of, let me just show you, I guess. That was great. That was really good. I should do that more often. So I'm gonna use some bias tape on this to flatten the edges and then kind of wrap the bias tape around those and sew it down. It'll reinforce the seams and keep those edges from fraying. So I'm gonna iron everything down. I'm going to get my bias tape set up, I guess, and then get all that stuff sewn in. And this is gonna take a while. I know that this part will take a while, but it's gonna be worth it, and it's gonna be easier to do it now than when it's all put together and the sleeves are on. So I'm gonna go ahead and do this now. Unfortunately, it didn't take very long for me to realize this bias tape was way too big for my bias tape maker, and I didn't want to do it by hand. So I just decided to use some pre-made black bias tape, and it worked fine. I did have to trim down the seam allowance a little bit so that it fit underneath, but I ironed it mostly flat and sewed it over the seams. And it was great. I also decided to trim the fringy bits off the inside of the sleeve. I thought about keeping these on the outside, but it was just a little too much. And the design of the blanket is so cool, I didn't want the upper arm fringe to kind of detract from that. I don't think that makes any sense, but I think you understand what I'm saying. Maybe. My coat has sleeves. It is mostly wearable at this point, but I do want to put a collar on this. I think it would be really cool to have a hood on it, but I'm not sure if I've got enough fabric left. I'm gonna pull that back out, see if I have enough for a hood, and if so, do that. And if not, I'll put a collar on here, and then I think if I can get it set up so it does something kind of like that, I think we'll be in a good position. And I'm not super sure about the fringies, but I'm gonna leave them on for now because why not? Generally though, it's going together very quickly. Even the sleeves went in a lot faster than sleeves normally do for me. Part of the problem is that I don't have a good way of finishing the edges. I could use bias tape, but I think I'm gonna have to hand sew that in. Whatever, it is what it is. Let's do this last step and then maybe put like a button or two on here just so it has a place to close, and then it will be done. I'm very excited about this. And it's going a lot quicker than I thought, which is even better. For the collar, I do have this faux suede fabric that a friend of mine gave to me, and I thought it would be the perfect complement to kind of the rugged, outdoorsy look of this coat. Unfortunately, it is a little difficult to work with sometimes. Just doesn't seem to want to cooperate quite as well as some other fabrics, but it was fine. I also drafted a large pocket to fit my phone, and I was ready to get it all together. So enjoy the reveal. I know I say this a lot, but this legitimately might be one of my favorite things that I have ever made. I am so surprised at A, how fast this came together, and B, how well it fits, even though it's not really a super fitted garment, which I guess is a testament to that like bodice block that I had already made. This is pretty cool, and I didn't think that I would say that. So pros and cons. Pro, that blanket was big enough to make a longer jacket. In a bigger pattern, it may have to be shorter to accommodate for the bigger pattern piece. I don't know, but for me, it worked, and I still had enough left over to put a cool little patch pocket on there, and then I think I've got enough left over where I can make like a clutch to go with it. Con, you have to finish the inside seams, and I don't have a serger, which means that I had to put the bias tape on the inside so that those don't come unraveled when I wash it, and I haven't done it to the like shoulder seams, so that added a bunch of extra time. If this was a fabric that didn't come unraveled, it would have gone so much faster, and even with the bias tape, it still only took me maybe 4 hours or so. Also, I didn't have to hem much of anything because I'm using all of the factory hems and all the fringy bits. So, you know, if you are going to hem it, but maybe it doesn't come unraveled, it might only still take you another 4 or 5 hours. I don't know, but for this, 4 or 5 hours, that was it. As I always do, I kind of rushed in the end, so when I got to the collar, it didn't take as much time as maybe I should have, so I am gonna go in and unpick the collar and put it in there correctly, because right now it's pretty wonky, and I'm not super thrilled with how it looks on the inside. I think the faux leather collar, though, really fits this style. I think that it's kind of a barn coat feel, so a leather collar really works. Overall, though, I will be doing this again. I may actually end up giving this one away as a gift for Christmas, so I'm gonna be on the lookout for another blanket so that I can make one for myself. This may start an unhealthy obsession with this type of jacket. I don't know if that's a pro or a con. It's either. Anyway, if you stuck around this long, thank you very much. If you would like to support the channel just a little bit more, you can head on over to my Ko-fi page. I have some great supporters over there, and if you are in that position, great, it's $2 a month, or you just give whatever you want to give, but you don't have to. There is no pressure to do that. You will still get all of the mediocre content here as you would over there. I would especially like to thank all of my members, subscribers over on Ko-fi. You guys really do help fuel the thrifting obsession that I have. So thank you very much. Because of your support, I was able to buy this jacket. Thanks to your support, I was able to buy this blanket and turn it into a pretty cool jacket. Don't forget to like this video because, I mean, come on, look at it. It's so cool. And subscribe if you want to see more, because I've got more stuff coming up. And I will see you guys next time. Bye. Thanks to... Look at it.